Welcome back to my channel. I'm Traben, and in today's video, we're going to talk about my TBR for Summerween 2025. If you're new to the booktube space, Summerween is an annual readathon hosted by Gabby over at Gabby Reads. I think it's one of the more popular and prolific readathons that I'm aware of, partially because I think Gabby has a very infectious personality, but she also puts a lot of work into like all the behind the scenes aspects of the readathon. There's merch, stickers, or Instagram challenges for every day. She also has a template for your TBR, so I went and I created my TBR, and I want to talk about it today, even though the readathon isn't until July. It's a ways away, but I'm just so excited about it. I'm really looking forward to taking some time out, carving some time out for some horror reads over the summer. I feel like I've been on a big fantasy kick lately, especially like really epic fantasy sagas, and so it'll be nice to kind of take a break and do some horror for a couple of days to challenge myself to meet these goals that they're setting for the readathon. So I'm going to talk about my selections. I tried to get a kind of eclectic mix of different types of horror so that I have a different range of things to choose from. It doesn't kind of get bogged down in one kind of feeling or one kind of horror. And so I'm going to go through the prompts for the TBR. There's 5 prompts. I picked out 6 books because there were 6 places on the template. So I just added in another manga series. So we're going to start with the first prompt, which is read a book at night or in the dark. And for that, I'm choosing to read Ghost Station. So this is the second sci-fi horror from S.A. Barnes. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before that I listened to Dead Silence, which is the first book. I don't think it's a series, but they are all space horror. I feel like S.A. Barnes has a really good talent for creating atmospheric horror and tension, and it really comes out in the audiobooks. So I'm looking forward to listening again to one of these. I will say that I was kind of disappointed in the way that Dead Silence ended, but I remember the ride, good build up and good atmosphere, and I really want the audiobook I listen to at night to be a creepy one, and one that I feel is going to like really ratchet up that feeling of dread or terror. So that's my first selection. I feel like the first 2 prompts for Summerween are always the same. So there's always read a book at night, and there's always read a horror thriller book. So for my horror or thriller, I've chosen Stage Fright by Garrett Boatman. This is part of the Paperbacks from Hell line from Valacourt Books. And this is a line based off of the titles explored in Grady Hendrix' nonfiction book of the same name, Paperbacks from Hell. This is a story about, I think, a like nightmarish cursed rock band that's evil, really playing on that social anxiety. I love the cover, by the way. The covers are really great. And so I'm hoping that this is a good read. I've been kind of hit or miss with the Paperbacks from Hell. Some have been really good. Some have been incredibly uncomfortable. And some have been so-so. But I have high hopes for this one because of the subject matter. I can't think of another horror book I have anywhere that has anywhere near this subject matter of like cursed evil band. So that sounds really fun. The next challenge is read a book with a sky on the cover. I'm going to be reading Flashlight, which has not been released yet. I think it comes out in June. This is not a horror book. This is part of my my attempt this year to increase my nonfiction reads and my literary fiction reads. So this is a contemporary literary fiction book. It is about a girl and her father. They go out to the beach one night. Her father can't swim. They have a flashlight. the father disappears, and it's told from multiple perspectives about what happened that night on the beach and what happened to her father. So there might be kind of a mystery element to it, but I don't think that's the main thrust. I think it's more of an exploration based on what the description of the book. It sounds like more of an exploration and a meditation on how can we know those around us when we have such an imperfect view of the world, and maybe from seeing things from all these different characters' perspectives, we'll have a greater sense of the full narrative. I went through a good number of literary fiction books, and this is one that really stood out to me as something that I'd be interested in reading. It's not the genre that I'm usually picking up, but I am excited for it, and I'm excited to try to expand my horizons in that area. Next theme is read a book that has been on your shelf for over a year. So I'm going to read Violet by Scott Thomas. Now, I believe that the other book from Scott Thomas I also read during one of the readathons. I can't remember if it was Summerween, it might have been Winterween. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I liked that it explored not only like the haunted house genre in an interesting and unique way, but also was an exploration on different types of horror writers. And I immediately went out and picked up another Scott Thomas book. I picked up Violet, and it's just sat on my shelf, and I haven't touched it since. So this is, as far as I can tell, a book about a girl who had an imaginary friend when she was little, and then she goes back to her house, her hometown, years later, something along those lines, and she's starting to discover that maybe the imaginary friend wasn't really imaginary. Maybe it was some sort of entity. So it's that kind of imaginary friend type of like supernatural horror. I think Scott Thomas's writing is just one that I jive with really well, and so definitely looking forward to this one as well. The final category is to read either an audiobook, a graphic novel, or a manga that is horror themed. I don't even know if it needs to be horror themed, but audiobook, graphic novel, manga. I am going to pick horror themed ones. The first one I'm going to start with is Bone Orchard Tenement. Now, I don't have the book yet, but I have read through the previous two Bone Orchard books, Passageway, and then was it 10,000 Black Feathers? This is kind of a horror anthology. I don't know quite how to describe it. They're loosely connected. I feel like they're you could read one or the other. There's no like set order. There are some connections between the ideas here, but they're not like, you don't have to read them as a series, and they don't really directly reference each other. It's more of like a horror universe or a horror world concept that they put these different stories into. I feel like this is another one that is very big on the atmospheric feeling, very much like a vibes book. You have these stories that are very character centered, but the surroundings, the situation they find themselves in are just eerie and unsettling. I haven't read a lot about Tenement because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I know that my local comic book shop has it, so I plan on buying it soon. And I know that it is much longer than either one of the previous entries in the mythos in the series. So it's one that I've already looked at before. I've already read some of the Bone Orchard mythos. Very much looking forward to the next entry. Very excited to pick that one up. Finally, again, because manga and graphic novels just read so quick, I'm also going to try reading through Strange House. I will probably try to read Strange Pictures as well. It's a very short book, but this is kind of my J-horror. This is out of Japan. And it is, at least I know Strange Pictures is about a series of images, like hand-drawn children's pictures, and like the connective tissue between those that results in some sort of weird backstory. Gradually learn the connection between them. I think the manga is an adaptation of a novel. And while we've gotten Strange Pictures, I don't think we've gotten Strange House. So this might be the only way currently to consume this stateside. Honestly sounds a bit like House of Leaves, where they discover this room in this house that shouldn't be there or is tucked away, locked away, and from that we kind of expand on this idea that the house is strange in some way, that has some sort of strange vibe to it, some sort of strange feeling. But yeah, another one that has been on my TBR, has been on my radar, and I'm excited to get to and have just a nice week of horror reading. Excited to get started, obviously. Again, this isn't until July, but I just wanted to share the TBR and talk about it, see who else is going to be joining the readathon. What do you plan on reading? Put it down in the comments below. I'm going to put my TBR visual up here at this point. Ooh, very cool. So there's my list. Again, I will post this template down in the comments, where you can also let me know, what are you reading for Summerween? Have you ever taken part in a readathon before? If you were going to take a look at some horror books over the summer, what would you be interested in? Let me know down in the comments. As always, please like and subscribe so we can grow this corner of our booktube community. And until the next one, take care.